Splash on Deck presented by Xinfity. We are live at the 2020 Olympic Trials in Omaha, Nebraska. They've been held here since 2008. We've got the Aqua Lounge, which is going to be our home here for the next week. And we're going to have so much action, so much fun, and a lot of people stopping by. It's going to be just a blast. You guys, this is it. We are here, the 2020 Olympic Trials. Now, I know there's a big elephant in the room. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take care of it right now, okay? We are calling this the 2020 Olympic Trials. Even though you did not travel in a time machine, it is still 2021. Also, we are not here on deck. We are in the Aqua Lounge, and the chances that we're going to get splashed are slim to none. But still, we are here, and we are going to have a great time. And we already started with a great time last week with Wave 1, and let's go ahead and look back at all the highlights.
Welcome to one of the greatest American sporting spectacles over not 1, but 2 weeks.
Off the blocks, there she is. Such a critical moment in a short race. She is just on fire right now. Best time after best time. Dropping another .4.
Oh my God. This has been my dream for like the longest time, and seeing it playing out is I'm just so happy.
Could be a battle for second, which matters. Kurek in the final couple meters. He will touch the wall. Is it Wilsley or is it Barriol? It's Barriol from lane 8. And the Sandpipers of Nevada. 17-year-old gets there, and a huge reaction from Kurek. He's through to wave 2, as is Bryce Barriol. Autumn Habig in lane 4. And there is, from Club Husker, the only individual to win a Big Ten championship by a Husker swimmer for Habig.
The start so critical in a 100 backstroke.
It's going to be Autumn Habig in lane 4, but who will join her next week in wave 2? And the touch for second is Melton. Kobe Melton finishing second. Autumn Habig is through, as is Kobe Melton. And look at that reaction by her. She wasn't sure, was she?
I can't believe your last name's Beisel.
Right in contention. Blaybaum, one more push. He's going to get the wall first, and finishing second is going to be Colby Mefford in lane 2. Venema right now in the lead into the final 5 meters. Venema, it's going to be a battle for second. Cuomo, Rothrock, there's the touch. Venema finishing second. Lexi Cuomo gets through. Nikki Venema clocks a 59.24 personal best. Look at that reaction. Lexi Cuomo is through to wave 2 as well. The reaction by Venema, disbelief. Andrew Benson in the red cap. Luke Miller to his right. Salmon making a move, and it is going to be Salmon in 49.94, a personal best for Patrick Salmon. Stewart in 4 as Guanchim begins to fade back a bit. A charge though by Ogle in lane 7. And it's going to be Bryson and Bailey Stewart moving on to wave 2. And look at that reaction by Sophie Bryson. Hand over mouth. She can't believe she just won the race and did so in 2:13.21, lowering her all-time best by more than a half a second. 25 meters to go for the absolute Hollywood script for these two members of the Naval Academy. A few more strides, and the dream of advancing to wave 2 is reality for Garrett McGovern and Luke Johnson, both from the Navy, anchoring down in Omaha for another week.
What an incredible finish for these two men representing the Naval Academy. I have full body chills. That is just so amazing to see. And they have their teammates of about 20 in the stands going absolutely wild right now. And these two men are living the dream, heading to wave 2 as teammates, as competitors.
I don't know, we definitely wanted to go 1-2, but to make it actually happen is something really special to us, and I know the entire team loves it too.
Luke, speaking about the team, what does the support mean to you and having that contingent in the stands and knowing that they're behind you every single stroke?
So we have 3 tenets on our team: brotherhood, tradition, and excellence. There is no tighter group of brothers anywhere in the country, anywhere on any other swim team than it is on Navy men's swim and dive. So having them behind me means the world to me.
Heard a voice that might sound familiar to you. That's right. It was Elizabeth Beisel who was doing all the play-by-play right there on Wave 1. And it's good to have you here. Elizabeth, it's good to see you in person.
I'm so happy to see you. It's been way too long since we've reunited, but we're here. Everybody's here. We're racing safely and fast.
Right.
All is well.
Let's talk a little bit about Wave 1. Speaking of racing safely, we had to split it up into Wave 1 and a Wave 2 because there were so many athletes. What was it like calling those races and being there last weekend?
It was awesome to call the races. Anytime that I get to be in the booth and talk about the sport that I love more than anything, it's an amazing opportunity. And you know, one thing that we didn't really know how to gauge was the swimmers' reaction after their race, because we've never had a Wave 1. And sure enough, all of those reactions that you just saw were genuine, and they were for every single event. And to see these athletes who probably wouldn't have finaled here at Wave 2, to have their chance under the lights and the camera and the action and thrive and get that experience, that's invaluable, because you have to remember, trials now are only 3 years away from now. So some of those names that I was calling at Wave 1, we might be seeing as headliners at the real Wave 2 or whatever you want to call it in 3 years. So it was a really exciting meet to be at, and just to see the youth of the sport right in front of my eyes was really, really awesome.
One of the highlights was you were hugging some lady, didn't look like a swimmer. Who was that?
So her last name was Beisel. And I've never met, this woman came up to me right after the show and we were off air. She was like, I've never met anybody with the last name Beisel, but I know you're Elizabeth Beisel. My last name is Beisel. She's a swim coach, and so we had a beautiful moment. Maybe we're related, maybe we're not. We have to do like the Ancestry.com.
I was going to ask if you did, because that would make some sense if you like exchange numbers and you're like, let's get this done.
We didn't. So if anybody at home knows who that is in the clip, let me know, so we can figure out whether we're related or not.
That would be amazing.
Maybe she's like a long lost cousin.
She could be your aunt.
Could be an aunt.
The cool aunt that you know.
That I never knew, and now I have.
That's amazing.
I know.
Wow. Something else is amazing, though. The 400 IM girl. I'm sorry. I can't look at you without thinking the 400 IM. My first question, I guess, for a 400 IMer would be why?
Because, Amy, I wasn't blessed like you were and had fast twitch fiber muscles like you. And Caleb Dressel actually had me do a DNA test because he wanted to know things about his body and sensitivity to foods. And it tells you what percentile you're in for fast twitch muscle endurance, ultra endurance. And I was in the 95 percentile of like endurance athletes.
Of course.
So of course. It tells you stuff you already know, but it's nice to have that validation. So you were obviously in that sprint fiber group of gene pool, the blessed ones, and I had to kind of settle for the 4 IM because that's all I could do.
Well, you did it very well.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
One of the things that I've always wondered, you know, because again, in my races, it's like you think about starting and then you just think about gritting your teeth, right? You've got some time. What do you think about in a 400 IM as you're swimming it?
Yeah, it's a lot, and we have a lot more time to think, obviously, than you, and we're playing games, and especially here between prelims and finals at trials, you're trying to conserve as much energy as possible in prelims. Your only goal after that prelim race is to look up at the scoreboard and see you've qualified top 8. You have a lane, you have a chance. So that's pretty much the only goal in the morning. And then at night, you finally get into the race strategy, and you're kind of communicating with the other athletes by just pushing the pace a little bit. Oh, wow, she had a good backstroke split, like she's feeling good, or her backstroke split was off. Maybe she's not feeling great tonight. So it really is a game of cat and mouse, a game of strategy, a game of knowing how your competitors race. And so there's so much more to a 400 IM than just your own strategy. And I think that's kind of what I loved about it most, was that no 400 IM was ever the same. And to your advantage, the more often you raced against people, the better you kind of knew how to swim against them. It was almost to an advantage.
Okay.
So when these athletes here at trials, the two or one or two that qualify for the Olympics, you know, hopefully they're racing people that they race all the time and they know what to do and to expect. But otherwise, you're kind of racing blind and trusting your own race strategy and hoping that it works out. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can talk to you forever. We've got so much more to talk about. Do you mind hanging around for just a little bit?
I'll be here.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, until then, we have got some action going on at the pool. So we're going to go and send it to the pool with Caitlin Sandino and Brendan Hansen.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, Brendan.
We are back in Omaha.
We're back, Omaha. We are so excited to be back.
I can't believe you invited us.
We had so much fun in 2016, and we are thrilled to be your on-deck host. I'm two-time Olympian and four-time Olympic medalist Caitlin Sandino.
And I'm four-time Olympian Brendan Hansen.
Brendan, how fired up are you right now?
I'm pretty excited. I'm not going to lie. Wave 1 last week was amazing. The athletes came out, they threw down, the crowd was good. You guys, the bar has been raised as far as the number of people in the stands and getting people excited about it. But it's just a great setup event for where we're at.
And we already saw in an American record this morning. I mean, if that's just a little look into what we have to be excited for, we have a lot to be excited for.
Heck yeah, that was a great race this morning. I mean, I think that you could just see the excitement and just really the opportunity, right? This time last year, that was taken away from everybody.
Right.
The athletes today really seized the moment.
Well, like you just said, the 2020 Tokyo Games was postponed by a year, but now we are only 40 days out. Having said that, the Olympic Games are still referred to as the Tokyo 2020 Games, so we are at the U.S. Olympic Team Trials 2020.
And then let's talk a little bit about the selection process. 26 men and 26 women will be selected here this week. The first winner of each event will be selected if they meet the qualifying time. And then the second person will be picked later on depending on how the team makes up. The fourth person, the top 4 people in the 100 and the 200 freestyle will also be picked as well. So 52-person roster, but it's a little bit different this year because we have some new events.
I know, it's so exciting. New events in Tokyo this year. We have the women's 1,500-meter freestyle, the men's 800-meter freestyle, and the mixed medley relay. Brendan, you could have been on a mixed medley relay.
I would have loved to be on that relay, but it's going to be super exciting, and we can't wait to cheer on these Tokyo Olympians.
So guys, we are going live with NBC at 7 p.m. Brendan, what does that mean?
That means that you need to get on your phone, you need to text your mom, everybody else, and tell them to turn on the turn on the TV, and let's watch some swimming tonight. Get them up in their living rooms and get them cheering.
And that means fans, you guys need to bring the energy tonight. We need everybody back at home, knowing that we might have fewer people in the stands, but we have just as much energy, just as much excitement.
I'm excited.
You're excited.
And we got invited back.
Stay tuned. We'll be back very, very soon to go over tonight's main events.
Mom, don't forget to watch. Okay, sorry about that. I was texting my mom. But listen, while we're here, you'll hear a lot of athletes talk about how nerve-wracking Olympic trials is. Why don't you hear it from some of the top Olympians in the United States?
It's such a big production. It was the coolest thing I had ever seen. My first race, I remember walking out and I was just scared.
It's the greatest spectacle in swimming.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so much fun. Trials is really the intense meet. I mean, the ready room at trials doesn't get any more intense than that. The ground was shaking. Everyone was so excited, and you just hear this roar. You felt like a gladiator walking out into a coliseum. It is the most nerve-wracking meet I've ever been to. I mean, I've been to 2 Olympic Games, but the trials, anyone in the top 8 could be a medalist and a finalist in the Olympic Games.
At least at the Olympics, third place means something. At trials, nope, only first and second matter.
The competition is why we're so great, but at the same time is the scariest meet you've ever been to.
Oh Oh my gosh, even just watching that and listening to those athletes, I get chills. I just remember being in the ready room with Jenny Thompson and Dara Torres and all of us just looking at each other like with, evil eyes, because at any moment, any one of us could have won. This is an intense meet and you are here for it. But we are going to go ahead and step away for a quick commercial, but don't leave because we've got more with Elizabeth Beisel next.
4. And then 5, turn, kick.
We got chased by these wild coyotes.
We were following her because she had beef jerky in her pocket.
Someone behind me, come on. Pick that up, right there.
As long as you keep making the internet an amazing place to be, we'll keep bringing you a faster, more secure, and more amazing internet. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Once we start swimming,
we're in for life.
We swim with goals.
Let's get it going, come on.
With joy.
With our community.
A community that believes swimmers don't just do something fun.
They become something exceptional.
Come join us here, where we love this sport.
And let's go ahead and check back into the swimming pool and see what's going to happen tonight.
One of our 2 announcers, Kevin Cargill. Kevin, going over the women's events. Okay, so there's only 2 events for the women tonight. A final, the 4 a.m., which is very near and dear to my heart, and then a semifinal, 100 butterfly, 400 IM. What were you impressed with this morning?
I think I was impressed with Haley Flickener the most. I mean, she got out really quickly, which we knew she would. I mean, she's one of the most amazing butterflyers we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And then just continued to rock all the way through the 400 IM, which was really exciting. Melanie Margalis kind of outsplit her for just one little part of the race. But I will say Margalis looked strong, looked confident, looked like she was very much under control this morning, which is really, really exciting. Also, Leah Smith, who has kind of just been flying under the radar for a long time in this event.
Right.
I think she's very much poised to make a move and maybe even surprise some people. And then, of course, Emma Wyan.
Yes.
She looked really sharp. That was a great time for her. I think she's really poised to, in her first Olympic trials, have a chance to make it onto the Olympic team in the 400 IM. There's 4 girls right off the bat, and honestly, anybody else can jump into that action this evening. And, like you said, it's a final. So the second swim and you're in. So that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. You see some veterans out there. You have some rookies. It's going to be an interesting blend.
Yeah.
400 IM, it's one of my favorite races to watch. I like watching it better now than swimming. And then that semifinal, or the prelims for the semifinal in the 100 fly, I think we are in for a show because there was some fast swims this morning,
Isn't
that 100
that
butterfly.
Crazy?
It was impressive.
3 of the top 6 swims in the world this year are in the water tonight. We can only take 2 of them. And I mean, granted, this is a semifinal, so we got to find the top 8 out of the 16 women that made it back in the 100 butterfly. I'm most excited about seeing the 17 to 18 national age group record holder take on the 15-16 national age group record holder, Claire Curzan, Tori Husk, and then Kelsey Dahlia. What more can you say? Awesome swim this morning. Really looking forward to seeing her this evening.
Absolutely. The ladies are going to put on a show tonight. Don't go far. Brendan and Michael will check in with the men's events shortly.
Well, we'll check on what's going on in the pool just a little bit later. But now we're back here in the Aqua Lounge with Elizabeth Beisel, Olympian. Hello. So something that has gone on around every Olympic trials is that every athlete would rather swim the Olympics all day long than this swim meet. I can say it for myself. I think you can say that. Why do you think that is, that this meet is so much more pressure-filled than even the Olympics themselves?
Yeah, I completely agree with that statement. Let me just put that out there because we all would rather be at the Olympics right now because that means we survived Olympic trials. And all of the Olympic dreams hinge on this 1 week that only happens every 4 years. So for swimmers, this is their Super Bowl. except we don't get that every year like the NFL. We get it every 4 years, in this case 5. So there's the added pressure there. And, you know, just being a swimmer, we put in so many hours of hard work, and we hardly really get any chances to let it show on the big stage, like Olympic trials, like the Olympics. So for these athletes, this is their time to shine, their time to maybe go to the Olympics and get sponsorships, maybe to make a name for themselves and get a college scholarship. It is really the one time that you have to prove to yourself that I've been putting in the work. Everything that I've done leading up to this moment will lead me to success, or so you hope. And it's just a lot of pressure to deal with. And being here, you know, just walking around Omaha, because all 3 trials that I competed in were here in Omaha. And I can't help but feel that anxiety that I felt as an athlete here. And I kind of have to sometimes snap myself out of it and be like, no, Elizabeth, you don't have to race the 400 IM today. You can breathe and you can sleep tonight. But it just brings you back. And I'm sure it brings you back too, even though you never competed in Omaha. It's just the trials.
Yes.
There's an X factor about it that you cannot deny, you cannot ignore, and it really does separate the good from the great, in my opinion.
It truly does. And we've got some great swimmers that are up and coming now. You are going to be doing some NBC work, and I know you've done your research, so let's talk about those up and comers that you are excited to see at this meet.
This meet is full of up and comers, and that's going to be the storyline umbrella throughout this entire week, because this extra year that we tacked on to the already 4-year quad gave all those younger athletes an opportunity to get stronger, bigger, faster, all of the above. And the older athletes are only getting older, unfortunately. Yeah. So it's really an opportunity for these younger athletes to make the most of the opportunity presented to itself here at trials. And I mean, just tonight in the 100 fly, Tori Huss, Claire Curzan, oh my gosh, Kate Douglas, like all of these youngsters that are just, they wouldn't have made the team last year. And here they are. They are the big names we're talking about here tonight. And we very well may see 2 teenagers representing the U.S. in the 100 fly tomorrow night after that final.
Oh, that would be spectacular.
Cool, right? But then you also see the flip coin of it, and you're thinking about Kelsey Dahlia.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the veterans that had another year added onto that quad that's already long, and that's harder for an older athlete. So much respect to every athlete here competing, because everyone has gone through ups and downs, but it's not easy regardless of how you look at it.
It's not, but you did a great job in your career. You've done a great job after your career. I need to talk about it because it was very upsetting for me. Survivor. Yes. I watched it. I was tweeting like a crazy person, talking about how amazing my girl is, and then I don't even know who won. Like,
that's okay.
I don't care, because Elizabeth was on Survivor, which is like something we all want to do. So talk to me about it. How was it getting that phone call and then actually showing up, and there you are?
It's crazy. Yeah. You literally live on an isolated island with no shelter, barely any food. You have one outfit, no access to the outside world. Like, that part of it is very real. And humbling too, because it put things into perspective for me, where I have so much at home. Like, I found myself just wishing for a pillow. And, you know, like it's the little, or a towel.
Sure.
You know, it's stuff like that you take for granted here. It's crazy to say, but some people don't have that. So it was a really eye-opening experience in that sense. And then I also met my boyfriend on the show, and he's amazing. We've been together for 2.5 years, and so did I win? No, but I really kind of won. So it all worked out.
Wait a minute. Your boyfriend, was he on the show as well?
Yes, he was. His name's Jack. But we didn't meet until after filming, so that was kind of like the great part about it. It was very organic. It kind of just happened. Friends at first. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and like I said, I won.
I was going to say, I didn't see Elizabeth Beisel have a showmance, but maybe I missed it when I turned.
I didn't. That's because.
Okay, good for you.
Yes, thank you.
Girl, you can't do that.
Not after no shower in 30 days.
Well, that is really cute. Really cute. And you know what? You are really cute. I could talk to you forever and ever. You are so awesome. I would love to have you back. But until then, good luck with everything that you're doing. The way that your life is going is amazing. So I wish you the best luck. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. And I have to say, for everybody at home, this is a very full circle moment for me, because I had posters of Amy in my bedroom growing up with Jenny Thompson, like that entire crew. So this is very cool for me.
Thank you for saying that. You made my whole life.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Not the Olympics. gold medals.
No,
It's
that made my whole life. And now I'm going to have everyone refer to me as Queen Amy from now on.
You heard it here first. Queen Amy from now on. Okay? I will hold all of you accountable.
Elizabeth, you are the best. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you on NBC.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and check out the men's events for tonight with Brendan Hansen.
Hi, it's Brendan Hansen, and we are here with the men's announcer, Michael Parapat. Michael, we want to talk a little bit about the finals and semifinals that we have tonight. We're starting off with the 400 IM for the men. How do you see this playing out? I mean, strategy comes into play here.
That 400 IM, really, those middle lanes are going to be in contention here. Carson Foster looked so great this morning, but Chase Kalish, he is now the defending champion in this event at the Olympic trials. He won it in 16, and he's got that lethal breaststroke leg.
And that's going to be the breaststroke leg where it plays out, right?
So many times, the IM, it's the breaststroke that makes the difference. You've seen it.
Look for that second half, and then we have the men's 400 freestyle, which was pretty strong across the board.
That's right. Well, Kieran Smith of Florida, obviously the man to beat there, but the time to beat, 346.78. That's the A cut for the Tokyo Games. If you're not that fast, you're not going.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about the semifinal for the 100 breaststroke. This is one close to my heart. One where you can definitely hear the crowd going crazy when you swim, but let's talk about that.
Well, Michael Andrew, out of the morning swims, just came out completely on fire. I mean, American record, and he looked smooth. He looked comfortable, like he's got something left.
Yeah, he said he wants to do some things tonight. I talked to him on the pool deck. He wants to get a little bit faster, and that would be another American record.
Well, Brendan, you're a 3-time winner at the Olympic trials in the 100 breaststroke, and this was a pretty quick event. 12 of the 16 semifinalists turned in best times in the morning. What do you think of all these guys going double O's?
I just want to see people going 58, you know? That's important, and that's going to put us in contention in Tokyo, so we'll see how that plays out. It's definitely going to be something. I think the semifinal format too, you know, where they're trying to vie for those top 8 points or top 8 spots, that's going to come into play.
That's right. So out of the 2 semifinals, fastest 8 times will move on to the championship final. That's tomorrow night.
Okay, so let's look for that, but we'll get going here in a little bit, and this crowd's starting to fill in, and yeah, let's get on our feet and get loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, be excited and enjoy the show.
We will be excited and enjoy the show. And of course, it's getting started. And we have been here, not just today. We showed up yesterday. And I love behind the scenes stuff. And we're going to give you some in rehearsals that happened last night for all of this. Oh, rehearsals are fantastic, but not as fantastic as the real thing, as we are here live in the Aqua Lounge, getting ready to go to the 2020 Olympic trials. We're going to head to the pool. But before we do that, or after we do that, I should say, I'm going to change my mic flag from the one that I've got on here to a different one, because we have got the Golden Road post show right after the Olympic trials. So make sure that you come back here as soon as trials are over. Thanks so much for watching Splash on Deck, presented by Xinfity. I'm 6-time Olympic gold medalist Amy Vandyken. Enjoy Olympic trials live from Omaha.